Hello, my name is Catherine. Welcome to my channel, Oracle Intuitions. Today we're going to be doing a pick an object, full moon, and Sagittarius reading. What we're going to be looking into today is what you know, what is hidden, where to focus, and where to drop the illusion within ourselves. So not only is it a full moon in Sagittarius, but it's also a lunar eclipse. What this can do is make us extremely emotional and vulnerable to deception and illusion, not only around us, but also within us. Sometimes we actually will feel that need to express ourselves, but we need to do it in a way that's going to be effective, and we need to get to the actual true heart of the matter rather than just focusing in on all the chaos that's going around us, okay, or going on around us. So getting to the heart of the matter can actually be really difficult because we are getting to perhaps the core of ourselves, or at least our current selves at this time. But what this will do is help us to also open our eyes and to clear up disruption that we have within our inner being. So what I'm going to get you to do is just to take a deep breath and focus in on one of the objects that you feel resonates with you at this current moment. Okay, we've got the rose, the rock, or the key. All the timelines are going to be down below. Also links to my website, Instagram, and Facebook page. If you're interested in a personal reading, I do provide personal readings. And if you're interested in any of the decks that I'm using, those are going to be down below too. So let's get started, and we're going to start off with the rose. So for those of you that chose the rose, let's get started. What we're looking into first is what it is that we already know. Now, this may be a conscious thought. This also might be a subconscious thought of what it is that the universe wants you to bring forth at this time. Okay. All right. So we're looking into what it is that you already know. I wonder what will happen next. Ready to adventure? Purpose of change, pause before action. So for those of you that chose the rose, what I'm feeling right now is it's time to take a pause. Okay, I'm feeling that what the universe is trying to come through with at this time is, you know, that it's not a time to rush into action of anything. Now, this can be relationship, it could be external circumstances that are going on, you know, within the world at this moment in time. It could be within jobs. Maybe some of you are feeling, you know, restless within your current job. It's actually asking you just to take some time and really think about what it is that you wish or that you want out of this situation or out of this issue, or what is going on with inside of yourself before just rushing into action. Okay. It's also saying here, impossible things, working through disbelief, imaginative leaps, and fresh perspective. So I feel that, yes, some of you are definitely in a place that you may be feeling restless. You may be unsatisfied. Again, this could be job, relationship, take it as in whatever aspect that is coming through. And it's saying that, you know, what you need to do is remove that illusion of disbelief. Okay, is what I'm feeling. Look into things that take a look at it from a different perspective, or a fresh perspective. This could, again, be relationships. It could be, you know, jobs, careers, however it is that, you know, it is relating to you. But I do feel that it is time to just take a step back and pause before you need to rush in. Okay. And it's actually saying here, because we are in the category of what it is that you already know, I feel exactly that some of you already know that you do need to take this pause. And for those of you that are wondering if you should rush ahead, this is going to be your sign. Okay. It is saying, take some time. Just really think about what it is that you do or need to say. Maybe there's something that you're very determined to achieve at this moment anyway. And again, this could be, you know, having to do with any aspect within your life. But before you just rush ahead, okay, because this is a very, again, volatile time, you may need to actually choose your words carefully before proceeding. Okay, maybe just take a day. Maybe just do some thinking on it, is what it's actually asking you to do. So we're just going to pull up some tarot in regards to clarification. Actually, one just fell on the ground, so I am going to take that one. Just give me 1 second. Okay, so the one that fell is the Fool. And it's funny that this actually would come out because that's exactly what it's talking about. It is time for a new adventure. Maybe you do want to head into a different, new adventure into your life, a new aspect of your life. Maybe you are feeling very in a place where you need something new or different, or maybe, there's a cause that you're, wanting to rush towards. But it is saying, again, take that pause. It doesn't mean that not to rush and go forward with it, but just take some time before you do so. Okay. It is really also saying here is you do need to take that leap of faith. So for some of you, I do feel that maybe you were thinking about starting something, but that disbelief is also coming in for you at that time. Maybe you're feeling like, that imaginative leaps, is basically saying to you, look at, your inner mind is saying, you can't do this. You start putting up all kinds of blocks and barriers to prevent you from moving forward. But what I'm getting here is you do have to have that faith, okay, in moving forward and doing what it is that you feel that you need to do, but also just take some time before doing it. Okay. It's kind of like if there was a business adventure that you were thinking about starting, or you were going to put a bunch of money onto it. Just using this as an example, maybe just take a step back and think about it first before just leaping ahead. It doesn't mean not to go for it. Okay. But at that same time, really look at it from a fresh perspective. Is this really what you want? Is this, are you being pressured in any way? Is this something that, are you just trying to do it for a change within your life? And this could be relationships too. Okay. Is it really what? Is the grass always greener? Or, if, for some of you, that is going to, resonate. But at the same time, I do feel that you just need to pause. Just take a pause. Okay. And if you're thinking about backing out of something, maybe there's something that you were thinking about charging ahead with, but then, you stalled and you decided to take a step back. Maybe it is time. Maybe there was some disbelief in there that you need to have that leap of faith with. Okay. So again, take that as it resonates within you. But what I'm getting here is before you do anything rash at this moment, okay, or before you do anything without putting a good amount of, thought, and really trust your gut is what I'm also getting here. Trust the gut that, the universe does have your back, whichever direction it is that you want to go. But I do feel that you do need to have that fresh perspective on it, and also have the belief and the faith that you're doing the right thing at the right time. Yeah, that Knight of Cups. So again, as we were talking about, having that feeling inside of you, make sure that what you're doing is really something that you want to do. Okay. Sometimes we might look at something and just go, I'm sort of bored in my current circumstances, so I'm going to rush into this. Okay. But your full heart and core self might not be completely attached to it at this time. So what it's asking you to, again, take a step back, look at it from a fresh perspective, and go for it with all of yourself. Okay. Or go in another direction, but go in the direction that feels the best to you. Really trust your gut instinct at this time. Okay. Even though you might be bored and you're ready for that new adventure, this might not be the time to do it. But if you take that pause, okay, look at it from a fresh perspective, and also have the faith that you are being guided, that is going to be, you can't go wrong with that. Okay. Just have that faith. So what we're also going to be looking into here is what is hidden and where to focus at this moment. So oops, this is going to fall. Sorry, just about dropped all my cards. We're going to be looking into what is being hidden from you at this moment. Okay. What is it that this could be within yourself? This could be externally. Maybe you are thinking about, I'm just going to use a business adventure as an example. Maybe there's something behind the business adventure. Maybe this is why you're feeling that pause within you. Okay. Or again, this could, have to do with your own fears. Maybe the business adventure, again, as an example, might be something that, will be a very good prospect for you. But is there fear behind that? Okay, so we're going to look into what is hidden within you. I feel like this one right now. Authentic, real, organic. Okay, and we're going to pull up another one just as a stalked, invaded, and watched. That's really interesting. So some of you might actually be really feeling, that feeling that stalked, invaded, being watched. This is stuff being hidden from you. There might be people watching you. Okay, there might be people watching your next step. I feel like for some of you, and it says listen to advice, think clearly, and intellect. I do feel that maybe for some of you, this might be relationship, and you're, that stalked, invaded, and watched card. You might be wondering, if you are being watched. Again, I'm feeling, your gut instinct coming in. I feel like for some of you, this is also having to do with relationships. Okay, so when we're talking about hidden, are you feeling like somebody is, in this phase of, are they stalking you? Are they watching? Are you feeling like restricted within a relationship? It does say here to listen to your listen to advice, think clearly, in your intellect. So sometimes, again, we tend to rush into things, and it might not be that this person is actually, literally stalking you. It might feel, maybe you're feeling like, constrained within a relationship and you're ready to just end it. And again, it is saying here, think clearly, use your intellect. But going into that first round here, I'm also feeling like maybe not rush into something. Not only sometimes do we rush into something because of the fact that, we just want something over with, or maybe we're feeling, maybe we're listening to other people, because I am feeling this authentic and real, organic. I'm feeling like this has to do with you. And I feel like you need to, when it talks about this, listen to advice. For some of you, this might resonate where you're listening to the advice of others. Now, this can be media, this could be our government, it could be, whatever it is that is, current at this moment. But I'm feeling that for some of you, it is really time to dig in and really listen to your inner voice. Is somebody telling you to do something that isn't, it might be on their agenda. This might be a benefit for them in some way, but it's not real and authentic for you. But you might feel like you had to rush into it, or for some reason you might have to follow a crowd, or, maybe, you're listening to family and friends. What I'm getting here is, for some of you, I'm getting here, this stalked, invaded, and watched, is people sometimes putting pressure on you, or your internal self may be putting pressure on you to take some sort of action that you're not ready to take at this particular moment in time. Okay. Now, remember, as with anything, if you are in some sort of dangerous situation, if this stalked, invaded, and watched is in an actual literal way, it is time to think clearly and listen to the advice for that, because of course you're never going to want to stay in some sort of dangerous situation. But I'm also getting here that you need to do it wisely. Okay. And for some of you, this might be an actual warning. Okay. Don't just rush into it. Don't just, do something haphazardly. Okay, is what I'm getting. You need to actually, you may need to listen to advice of authorities, or, some sort of higher up in that, legal field or whatever it is. But I am getting here, just absolutely don't go putting yourself into danger by rushing into a situation, is what I'm getting, or rushing out of a situation, if the case may be, if there is a chance of, that action can cause you more harm. Okay. Obviously, if you're in harm, get out of it. But again, you might want to do it in a wise manner. Okay. But you don't need to delay. Just do it in a smart fashion, is what I'm getting. And again, for some of you, this being our inner core that we're looking at, And again, take this as it resonates. I do feel that for some of you, you might be wanting to just remove yourself from a situation. But it is, or maybe head into a situation. Okay. But it is saying you really need to listen to your gut here. Really take the time. Okay. Now, when we talk about taking time, this doesn't mean, again, if you're in a dangerous situation, you don't need to be in there for weeks or months or, even any more days or hours. But again, do it smartly. But, when it asks you to take a step back and take some pause, okay, it's just that if we act irrationally, it can actually cause more of a problem. Okay, so we're just going to get some clarifying cards in regards to what it is that they are talking about within this. So the Lovers, yeah, for some of you, this definitely might be either a decision in regards to a relationship. It could be literally a relationship that you're feeling that you either need to go towards or you need to leave. But when the Lovers card comes in, it can be that a decision. It could be sometimes a decision between two people is what I'm also getting. And it does say, again, follow your heart. Okay. Maybe just don't do it irrationally. Just take that time, really think about it before taking that next step, and, do it with a sense of authenticity. I'm so sorry about that. My camera actually stalled. So we're going to pull up another clarifying card. The Nine of Swords. Yeah, I feel like for some of you, what is being hidden is there is some sort of, you might not be looking at, I keep feeling like the need to rush into something, but at the same time, what is hidden inside of you is knowing that you do need to take your time with this. I also feel that some of you might not be looking at a situation with full of authenticity. Is what I'm getting. You might be looking at, it might be that time to look at it from that fresh perspective. I am also getting here, listen to that advice. I feel for some of you, that advice has really given you this Nine of Swords energy where you're feeling like, I don't know my next step. I don't know what to do. And you're feeling pressure for some people. You might be feeling like you're not following your true self. Maybe you're being pushed into doing something that you don't feel is right for you at this time. And it is giving you some sort of internal or external, I don't mean external anxiety, but I mean, maybe you're not, I'm trying to find the right way to say it. When we're feeling that anxiety inside, we know something is wrong, but we're not also admitting it to ourselves at that time. Okay. That's what I'm trying to say and some of you might really be feeling that anxiety as well, but I am getting that for some of you, something's not right. Something's not right, and this is confirming it, okay, is what I'm getting. So follow your intuition. That Sun, yeah, I feel by following your intuition, it's really going to help whatever situation it is that you're experiencing at this time. Again, I do feel that for some of you, this very well might be a relationship. It might be a relationship that is just not feeling right to you, and you are trying to find a way to leave it. Maybe somebody is, again, that stalked, invaded, overpowered type of, maybe you're just feeling like, yeah, they're crowding me. Like I just don't feel right in this situation. But, sometimes pressures come in. It could be pressure from the person. It could be pressure from family, friends, whatever it is that is making you feel like maybe you need to stay, but authentically within yourself, that the situation isn't right. Okay. It could also be too, is that from past situations, your own past situations, maybe you're also looking at this person and going, when we've been in bad situations before, we sometimes don't look authentically at other people. We might be putting, the past pressures of somebody else onto somebody within our lives or somebody that is new or somebody that is current. And really what this is asking you to do is take a real organic, authentic look at the situation within yourself. And that's why it's telling you not to rush in at this moment in time. The Sun is coming through. Once we follow ourselves, we really can't go wrong. When we listen to that gut instinct, it tells us what it is that we need and what it is that we need to do, and just really listen to it at this moment. Okay. So now we're going to look into what it is that, to focus in on at the moment. All right. Where to focus, what advice might help us. Okay. What advice will help us? What to focus in on at the moment? Training, consistency, and practice. I feel that, for some of you, this is really going to resonate. Again, I feel like for some of you, in the past may have listened again to others. You may have listened to outside circumstances or external, forces. And it is saying, this practice of following your genuine, authentic self is going to lead you forward. It does sometimes take practice, because sometimes, we tend to dismiss what it is that we're feeling internally. And but going through this process, even if it's a slow process, start listening to yourself. It may take practice, but consistently do it will lead you forward. And this is what you need to focus in on. It does talk about the consuming family pressures of peers. Exactly what I was just saying. Take a look at the people around you. See what agendas they have. Where are they trying to push you? Where are they trying to lead you? And again, this doesn't need to be, within your actual family or friends or your circle. This can be just from media. Maybe, we take a look at things that are going on in the world and we feel like we want to rush in and help. Okay. But maybe this isn't always your fight too, is what I'm also getting. Again, you need to listen to yourself. All right. You need to listen to your internal voice. And that's what it's asking you to focus in on. It's also asking you here, the pressure of peers, the pressure of family. This can be extremely that really bring us into, this Nine of Swords energy. And I feel that for some of you, you may have been in this Nine of Swords energy for a while. That what your family and that your family and friends are pushing you, that there's an agenda there, or that something is just not right. Like they're basically trying to maybe fulfill their own fantasies or their own thoughts, or they're pushing it on you. And I feel like for some of you, that's what you need to focus in. So take a really good look around you and see who is causing, to go into that Nine of Swords energy, which is, feeling anxiety, stress, depressed, even paranoid at times. And it says allure, desire, and manipulation. This very much could be a relationship for some of you. Some of you might be in that type of relationship. It doesn't need to be romantic, but it can be, people around you. And I do feel that for some of you, you need to put your focus on to where it is that could be creating that. Okay, that manipulation card coming in. I feel like for some of you, you may recognize that you are being manipulated in some way. And it's time now to focus in on yourself. All right. It's a hard thing to move past somebody's manipulation at times, especially if it's something that, we've been experiencing for a long time. It's sometimes hard to gather that strength. And again, it's saying don't rush in, but, really take a look at it. Okay. And that new perspective might be, you're so used to listening to to other people or your peers that maybe it's time to take that new perspective and really take a look and see if this is exactly what's happening. When you take another look, do you start to see that manipulation that's going on behind the scenes? Is that is that how you start to see clearly? Is that how you start to release from, people putting their own ideas into you or onto your mind? And it's talking about the Five of Cups. Yeah, I feel like for some of you, this has been, there's a lot of sadness is what I'm getting. So, for some of you, if you are leaving a relationship, it does, bring about some sadness, or you may have feelings of sadness. You're not sure how the other person is going to react. It might bring their sadness or their depression. At the same time, don't allow other people to manipulate you just simply because of their emotions. All right. You have to follow your genuine and authentic self in order to create your own happiness. You're not responsible for other people's happiness. So, if somebody is trying to manipulate you, it's time to start focusing in on yourself. All right. It does. The Three of Swords. Oh my gosh. Guys, I really do feel like there is some sort of, again, this talks about like something, it can be very heartbreaking when we see that Three of Swords card. This can talk about third parties. It can talk about, maybe somebody else was maybe you're in some sort of third party situation, whether it's you or the other person. But, that sadness. And again, I'm feeling that manipulation. So take a look. Who is it that is creating this sense of illusion for you that inside is a farce? Okay. And again, it can relate to other situations, but I really am feeling some sort of relationship going on here. I mean, it could be coworkers or, other people within your life. It doesn't need to be romantic, but it is really saying here, it's time to focus on clearing yourself and moving past the situation as however it pertains. And the Hangman. Yeah. It's interesting because that Hangman energy coming in, it is very much that take time to pause. And again, I feel like for some of you, you're worried about the fact that Nine of Pentacles coming in. What you're worried about is that if you move ahead with removing this manipulation, however it's coming in, is that other people are going to have some sort of negative reaction. And so you're really concerned about leaving the situation, or maybe even having a talk with them, or whatever it is that's coming through. But it is saying, you do need to pause before. So maybe it's a matter of pausing in order to gather the right words. Maybe it's pausing, to gather your own strength. In some cases, maybe your belongings. Okay. Don't rush into it. That Hangman, really contemplate before taking a rash decision forward is what I'm really getting here. Remove yourself from any heartbreaking situation or dangerous situation, or a situation that is just not, mentally, emotionally, spiritually well for you. But at the same time, do it with a sense of balance. Okay, you do have to have some balance within that step forward. So what we're going to take a look into now is where to drop the illusion. Okay, where to drop the illusion within what is going on currently for you. And what I mean by drop the illusion is, where do you need to see really clearly? Okay. Sometimes we try to fool ourselves and we think, oh no, it's not, it's not as bad, or it's not this, or it's not that. But we're just going to take a look and see what they have to say. Where to drop that, where to open our eyes. Okay. Like that expression, eyes wide shut. It's time to open our eyes, stop shutting them. Okay. I might not be using that as the right saying, but you get the idea. Working too hard. Aloha healing. Oh, door slam from the wind. Sorry. An important end, a new beginning. Yeah. So I feel like for some of you, what I'm getting here is that where to drop the illusion is what I'm picking up is, I feel like that working too hard is really talking about you're in the state of illusion that, to do all of this work, or do that inner healing that it is that you need to do. You need to do that healing, but you might be going, oh, that's so hard. Maybe it's just easier to take this path because that's the path of, least resistance. Okay. And it's telling you here, drop it. Okay. You know what you need to let go of. You know what you need to, maybe we're scared. Maybe we have the illusion that we're, if we leave a relationship or if we leave a job or career, or even, sometimes to do with like, we talked about family, that it's going to be too hard to do. And it's really saying here that healing is necessary. Stop putting a delay on it is what I keep getting. There's an important end. An important end will lead to a new beginning. And you know this, but you also have to recognize it. Okay. And remember this. You have to remember that when we end something, a new beginning happens. And this beginning might be within ourselves. And I feel that for some of you, you're too scared to approach the beginning. Okay. You might be looking at the beginning and you're not really quite seeing that beginning at this moment in time. But at the same degree, you know what has to happen. Sometimes it's easier to stay in the pain that we're feeling than it is to move out of or move into a new beginning. That's the bottom line. A lot of us like to stay in our own misery simply because of the fact that we're scared of that new beginning. It's time to get over that. That's what it's saying, is what drop the illusion of the fact that a new beginning can happen for you, but you do have to, you have to do the work. You have to do the healing in order to do it. Okay. Sexual art. So again, this might very well have to do with relationships in some sort of way. I'm also getting here is drop the illusion. What I'm getting here is somebody might be great, with intimacy. Okay, but are you truly happy is what I'm also receiving. Drop the illusion. Just because somebody's great in bed or, can do this, like an expert or whatever it is, or maybe, you think that you have this great intimacy, in the sheets. That doesn't mean that they're good for you emotionally or spiritually or even physically. Okay, and drop that illusion is what it's actually telling you to do here. Take off your mask. Yeah. It's again, talking about authenticity. Take off your mask. Okay. You're better than the circumstance that you're in is what I'm getting. And it's time for you to recognize that. Okay. It's time for you to do that healing in order to become that authentic person within yourself is what I'm getting. If it is another person, because I do feel like there's a lot of pain within whatever type of circumstance is going on at this moment. Okay, but you might have the illusion that it's, somewhere you're trying to fool yourself into thinking, oh, this is such a great relationship. Well, we're so good in bed. We're so, we can be so intimate with each other. Crap. That's take off that mask and really look at the situation with honest eyes. Look at your genuine self. Okay. Look at, if, is that person manipulating you in some way? All right. It is time to be, it's time to be you. It's time to be you, and who you are. And you don't need, we don't need somebody else all the time, to make us feel authentic or genuine or whatever. It's time to be real, organic, and authentic. Okay. And that's what it's talking about with that take off your mask. We're going to get one more clarifying card. Discover your life purpose. See, I love this. I really do. I love this. I love this as an ending card because it's telling you once you do, that sun is going to come up. We had that sun card, that Fool, that new adventure card. Staying stuck in the same cycles or the same people, or the same type of situations, that's not going to bring us our happiness. Okay. What we need and what we're looking for and what we're desiring is that true happiness. And sometimes we need to, the way to do it is to remove that mask, discover who you are. Okay. And again, if it is some sort of romantic situation, you don't need to stay in a situation because you think that it's bringing you some sort of sense of false happiness. This is what I'm getting. So for those of you that chose the rose, I truly hope that this has helped. And we're going to move into the rock. So for those of you that chose the rock, this is going to be your reading. We're going to start off with what it is that you know. Now remember, this can be a subconscious. It can also be conscious, okay? So you might already be aware, but even if it is on a subconscious level, there is an awareness behind it, okay? It might just be something that you're trying to push aside, okay, at this moment. Now remember that if the rock doesn't resonate, there is the other two objects. There is the rose and the key. So by all means, you know, choose another one. Not all readings are going to resonate with everyone because they are general readings, but here we go. We're going to look into what it is that you know. You can't go back to yesterday, be in the present. Yeah, so I feel like for some of you, you might be kicking yourself over past circumstances or past things that either may or may not have, you know, been at, maybe you caused them, maybe you didn't cause them, okay? But it is saying you can't go back to yesterday. So stop beating yourself up is what I'm getting. Follow your own good advice. Trust yourself. You know what is best for you. This is actually kind of funny because I do feel like for some of you, you might be really good at giving advice, okay? Maybe friends and family do come to you and you give them this great advice. You're like, you know, trust yourself, blah, 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 whatever it is. But then you tend to go back and kick yourself. I mean, I'll be honest, I tend to do that. I can give great advice, but then sometimes, you know, I'll be like, oh, yeah, but remember this time, blah, blah, you know, yeah, you got to get over that, right? It's saying here, all must have prizes, trying to please everyone. That's exactly it. So I feel like for some of you, here's what I'm getting. I feel like for some of you, I hope I can word this in the right way. I'm getting here that you do need to trust yourself. This trying to please everybody is you might be in some sort of circumstance, or maybe things are going on around you, or maybe you're preventing yourself from moving forward because of the fact that you are trying to please everybody. And there may also be, I'm getting here that there may be somebody in, you know, around you or, you know, in your life at this moment that is trying to bring back, things that you may have done, okay? And it's really saying here, and again, this could, you know, have to do with you. It might be you that's going, you know, kicking yourself, you know, but it is saying here, you can't please everybody, okay? What you did in the past doesn't have to pertain to the future, okay? It doesn't, just because you did something in the past, it doesn't mean it has to be now. You don't have to please everybody because of past behaviors that you did you did before, is what it's saying. It's time to start trusting yourself. So if you find that you're not being genuine and authentic with yourself, or trying to be genuine, or being genuine and authentic with others, maybe you need to take a look at that and go, you know what? I'm not going to please everybody. I've tried to please, maybe, you know, that too. Maybe you've tried to please everybody in the past and it's not working out for you. It's time for you to be you, is what I'm also getting. Okay. So again, take that as it pertains to you, or whatever aspect that it relates to you. But I feel like, you know, it's time to be you. You can't, especially if it comes to any sort of relationships. Okay. You need to follow your own, you need to be you in order to bring in an actual genuine relationship. You need to actually be you. You can't sit there and beat yourself up for whatever it was that you did in the past, or that somebody else did in the past. We also can't bring that forward. So, you know, if you've had crappy relationships in the past, let's just say, you know, it is time to let go. Okay. And letting go doesn't mean that you're allowing what their behavior was. It's just saying, you know, you don't need to bring that on to a new partner. Maybe this new partner is going to be somebody amazing, or maybe there's a person that's in your life at the moment who is absolutely amazing, but you keep going back to the past and bringing the past to them as well. That could very much be. And what it is saying here is, when it says all must have prizes, that also includes you. Okay, just being honest. Sometimes, our partners can't 100% please us, and we also have to take a look at that. Are we expecting a prize all the time? Are we, are we expecting that everybody to try to please us? Maybe somebody did something wrong, and you're holding that grudge towards them, and you're kind of, okay, you keep bringing it up. So again, take this as it resonates with you, but we are going to get some clarifying cards, okay? Either way, I feel that, that follow the gut, what it is that you're doing. That's what I keep getting. You already know. You already know what it is that you need to stay within the present, okay? You already know that either somebody else's behavior or your own behavior doesn't need to stay in the past, that you can now start looking at the future. You can start really trusting your gut. You know what is best for you. Okay. And if we are holding on to things from yesterday, we're not going to be we're not going to be able to stay within that present. We can't always please everybody, but you can please yourself. Okay. The Chariot. So I feel like for some of you, it's telling you here to really move forward. It's time to, again, let go. Let go is what I'm getting. Take a hold of the reins and move forward. Don't let past stuff drag, the Chariot's not going to flow. It's not going to move forward if it's got a bunch of crap behind it. If it's dragging a bunch of crap, it's not going to move it forward. All right. Yeah, Ten of Swords. It's done. Whatever happened in the past, it is done. Done, done. Be done with it. Let it go. Okay? And, and sometimes this can be ancestral too. Sometimes we hang on to things, that we feel are still important at this moment. We might be looking at maybe, family situations. Maybe in the past, our parents or family or whatever didn't have best relationships, or maybe they felt that, they weren't good enough for this particular job, or maybe, some sort of circumstance happened where, it is bringing forward into yourself into the present time. And it is telling you here, you can't hang on to that. Okay. Just because somebody in your life expected that all must have prizes, that they must always win, or maybe somebody was, from your past was, or somebody in your family or friends, whatever, are hanging on to things from the past. It is time for you to let go, is what it's saying. This all must have prizes, trying to please everyone. You can't always please your family. Okay. And you shouldn't have to. Right? This is your life. You've got to trust yourself. It is time to move forward. And that Ten of Swords is really saying you have to let go of that, or they have to let go of it in some manner. If they can't let go of it, then it's time for you, to take that step forward and let go of it. I feel like this one here. Yeah, that Five of Pentacles. Somebody's not looking at a better situation, okay? Or a better way of doing things, or they're staying in this Five of Pentacles energy, where it is, when I look at the Five of Pentacles, the first thing I think of is poor woe is me. Okay. It's feeling sorry for, yourself. It could be feeling sorry for somebody else. It's not asking for help in moving forward. And this doesn't need to be, even externally. It can be, within yourself, like find that strength to move forward. But this Ten of Swords is saying it is so time to be done. Done. Just move past it. Don't hang on to it. When, if somebody turns around and takes a look at a fresh perspective, we can also look at this Five of Pentacles as a fresh perspective. That's when we really start to see more good coming into our lives. Okay. It's asking for, help from the universe, from God, from friends and family, however it is that you want to look at it. But it's letting go, of that, that behavior of, I'm feeling sorry for myself, or I'm trying to please everybody, and I'm not feeling good within myself. is what I'm also getting here. So it is time to move that forward, with especially with that Chariot card coming through. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at what is hidden from us at this particular moment in time. What is being hidden? Now, when we talk about what is being hidden, this can literally be, things that we don't know about that, could come to the surface, but it can also be things that we're just not allowing our subconscious to accept at this moment. So being what is hidden can be within our core selves that we're not allowing to release. Okay. So, or it could be things that, we have deeply buried within inside of us that need to come up in order for us to clear. Okay. Most of the time we actually know what is hidden within us, but we tend to keep pushing it down and we don't allow it to come back up. So you read that? The past, a prison. Bitterness, grudge, refusing to let go. All right. Now, I don't think we need to say anything more about that because it's being very obvious. You are hanging on to, you or somebody within your life. Okay. It doesn't need to be you. Somebody is hanging on to, grudges. And, this has to be done. This has to be done in order to reach that level of happiness that you're moving towards, is what I'm getting. Anticipation, bright prospects, wish. Yeah, I feel like for some of you, you really, really want to move forward. You're really trying to let this go. But, this past stuff keeps popping up. Now, obviously that, you can't move forward. You can't, again, drag that old baggage behind you. The Chariot can't move forward. It's not going to move as fast. It's not going to move as swiftly if it's carrying, a bunch of luggage behind it. It's just not going to happen. You have to let go. I feel like for some of you, you do have that hope. You do see that bright prospect. You do have dreams and wishes that you're trying to pursue. But when you move forward, either your own past comes up or maybe somebody is bringing that past up to you. It's kind of like you have this dream that you're trying to achieve. And somebody, in your life might be saying, well, no, you can't go for that because, Aunt Betty Sue went for that like 10,000 years ago. And, they wouldn't accept her in this, so I don't see you succeeding. Or it could even be, you have this dream that you want to achieve and somebody is saying to you, yeah, but when you were 2, you couldn't color within the lines. So why do you expect that this is going to happen now? You basically get the idea of what I'm talking about here. Okay. Or it could be you that has these dreams and you put yourself back into the past and you go, yeah, but, I did try it this and I failed, or this didn't work out the way I wanted it to work out. Whatever it is, it's time to move past it. And if it's you that's doing this to somebody else, it's time to stop because you're holding somebody else back from their dreams. So really take a look. Okay. And it did even say, take a look around you. You've got to, you can't go back to the past. All must have prizes. So, if that is you that is trying to, if you have your own agenda and you're trying to put it towards somebody and you keep bringing up the past and stopping them from achieving their dreams, you got to cut that out. Okay, it is time to cut that out. It's time to stop that behavior. Compassion, empathy, simpatico, and kindness. Yeah, so I feel like, again, this is, towards yourself. Like you need to start bringing out, when we talk about hidden things, we have that compassion within us. And for those of you that may be pushing, bringing up somebody else's past, okay, it is time for you to have that empathy, that kindness. You have to, it's time to have that compassion towards that other person and recognize what it is that you're doing to them. Because if it is a relationship, especially if there is some sort of relationship where you keep bringing back the past, you're also stopping yourself from achieving your own dreams. Okay, how do you raise up when you're pushing somebody down? That can't happen. Okay. And maybe this empathy, simpatico, and kindness needs to either be towards another person, or maybe it just needs to be towards yourself. Because if you're bringing up your own grudges, it's time to have that sympathy for you, that kindness towards yourself. Okay. We're not going to, we can't move ahead, if we're not allowing it to open up to us. And the past already happened. It doesn't matter anymore. Really, that's the bottom line. No matter what your circumstance, you have to keep moving forward. Let it go. It's time to let it go. I'm having trouble shuffling these, so I'm going to just do that one more time. I also am getting here, I feel like this surge of, like, it's just, I feel like once you embrace this letting go, I feel like this surge of sunshine coming in, like this surge of freshness, this surge of, like, actually in like those dreams and things that either you or someone else has envisioned. Like, I feel like it just, like, the energy is charged towards that. And I feel like for some of you, I keep hearing just a push. And I feel like for some of you, you really needed to hear that, just to have that little bit of push. Like, it's really confirming for you. Let go of the past. Let go of that old junk. Yeah, that Three of Wands, you see, like okay, when with the Three of Wands is like looking towards your future and actually, having that anticipation, you see the bright prospects. What you're wishing for can be created. You're starting to see, it come to fruition, or you could start to see it come to fruition once you let go of the things that, you don't need to have around you anymore, the things that you need to hold on to anymore. That Eight of Wands. And once you actually do, it is going to start really flowing and moving forward. You're going to start really seeing those changes come to light. I love this, to be honest. Like, that Eight of Wands represents moving fast, moving quickly. It can sometimes, talk about like the arrows of Cupid. So if some of you are wanting a relationship, if you're looking for it, you're like, oh, I want this relationship, or, I want somebody in my life, or I want to change my relationship. I want to make it happier. I want to, move forward. I want a more, committed relationship, or I want a more contented relationship. Again, it is telling you, once you let go of this past, things are going to really just fly, because you're releasing that energy. When we're holding on to energy, we can't allow the energy to change, and we can't allow the universe to come in and really help fix it for us. Like, really start rearranging the things that we need to move forward. But I feel like once you release it, it's just going to fly. And that Page of Wands, yeah, new exciting energy. That's, this is the beginning of, I feel too, like, sometimes with the Page of Wands, again, it might not happen overnight, but it is the beginning of that energetic change. I really keep hearing in my head that for some of you, this is just some sort of confirmation. That's what I keep getting. It's a confirmation. It's a confirmation of what you needed to hear. Okay. And that's what I keep getting. I feel like for some of you, this just going, okay, you know what? She's right. Like, I just need to let go of whatever it was that was holding me back. I can move forward. So this is going to talk about what to focus in on at this current moment. Okay. So what is it that we need to focus in on? What is it that we need to allow to bring forth at this moment? Or it could be just things, that we need to focus on if it's, in some other type of circumstance. But, all right, ecstasy, yielding, rapture, bliss. Yeah, I love this. I love this. That Three of Wands energy again. That Page of Wands. Like, Page of Wands is like the beginning of bliss. It's the beginning of passion. And, it's allowing yourself to, if you're holding on and you're like, I'm ready to move forward again into either a new relationship, or you're holding on to a past relationship, or maybe you're wanting to renew a relationship. I feel like for some of you, this passion, like, it says to focus on that passion instead of the old stuff. Okay. If you're seeking a relationship, You can't bring that old stuff into a new relationship. You can't change the energy of a current relationship by holding on to the old energy. Spreading of conditions, influence, and impact. Transmission. Okay, spreading of conditions, influence, and impact. That's really interesting, actually. I'm not sure exactly what that means. But I'm going to do some clarifying cards, and I just want to think about it for a minute, because I feel like a lot of, that transmission also feels like transition. Okay. I'm also getting, what I'm hearing in my head right now is when you start that process of going towards your own dreams, your own bliss, those things, that ecstasy that you're looking for within your life, once you actually start allowing it to enter into your life, it does start spreading. It's the spreading of conditions. You start to influence and impact the energy around you as well as other people. Okay, so once you start feeling, and you're in a place of allowing, and you're in this place of like rapture, you're in this place of happiness and just feeling good within yourself. It was like that Five of Pentacles energy that we had come in. Once we actually turn around and take a look at, the energy that is surrounding us, like once we turn around and look and go, okay, you know what? This is how I want to feel. I want to feel this, really good. I want to feel really happy. I want to start moving towards what makes me happy and satisfied. You're going to start not only seeing that within the energy around you, but you're going to start seeing that in other people. So if you're letting go of grudges, if you're letting go of that past, other people are too. They're going to also, or they're just going to start feeling that energy glowing from you, because when we have a glow, when we have that shining coming from us, and that happiness, it is infectious and it does spread and it makes other people feel good. But the same as when we're in a negative energy, we're going to spread that as well. So what we want to do is get into that energy where we're impacting people with our joy. Okay. Flaws, contradictions, and mistakes. So again, what it's talking about, what to focus on here. So I feel like it's really just confirming to let go. Okay, transgression. You're going back in time, and I feel like for some of you, you know this knowledge. You know this knowledge that it's time to let go, but you transgress. You might be in this circle of happiness, but maybe not, things don't always go 100% as you were, expecting. And you know what? Most of the time it really doesn't. But we have, if we have that ultimate joy within us, it does move us forward. So what it's saying here is don't focus on transgressing. You don't need to go back and do these circles around and around again. Just focus on the ecstasy, focus on that happiness. Okay. Allow yourself that bliss. Allow yourself that Page of Cups, Page of Wands energy, and that Three of Wands energy, where you're looking for towards the future with passion and excitement. That's what I keep getting. All right, and some clarifying cards. Yeah, that Five of Swords. I feel like for some of you, again, some of you are, I feel like some of you or somebody in your life might, is scared of that new beginning. Okay, scared of that new beginning, letting go of the old stuff. You're scared to move forward. You're not sure of what the next step is, whatever this is. This Five of Swords energy coming through is really sort of confirming, again, looking at flaws, looking at mistakes. Somebody, and it very well could be with this Five of Swords energy, this is either you or somebody else, keeps bringing it up because it's a comfortable place to be, and it kind of, and for if it's somebody else that's bringing it to you, if somebody else is like bringing up your past, this could be because they're trying to have some sort of advantage. Okay, maybe they're not happy, watching you move ahead. Maybe they're not, maybe they want you to stay stuck in that same old, crappy energy that they're in, and they're trying to influence by bringing back the past for you. Okay. And that Two of Pentacles is coming in. So it's interesting with that Two of Pentacles, because I do feel like when I'm looking at that Two of Pentacles, I'm actually seeing it's like a busy mind is what I keep getting. It's like there's a busy mind going on. There might even be, maybe you've done a lot of work towards this, but you haven't quite achieved that letting go yet. I'm also feeling, even though it doesn't really have to do with the card itself, what I am getting is, again, a very busy mind. Like your mind might be just going in circles simply because of the fact that all of this stuff comes through. I'm also getting here, it's also time to purge, okay? So that, sometimes these things that come into our mind and bringing us back into the past is simply because we are supposed to purge them. And this can be feelings, visions, whatever it is, thoughts. We keep going back there because our guides and spirits are saying, okay, get rid of them. It's time to purge them. You don't need to relive them. Purge them out is what I'm getting. And look at that star coming through. How beautiful is that? So the things to focus on. The things to focus on is forward advancement. I'm also getting with this Two of Pentacles, forward advancement. It's time to focus on your dreams. Trying to focus on that rapture that it is that you want to bring into your life, or allow somebody else to experience within their life. I do feel that, you need to focus on, imagine yourself, because I keep getting this image too, is imagine yourself as like a big bright light and you're spreading this. Okay, you're spreading that happiness. And when you walk up to somebody, imagine that light surrounding them, and you may see that happiness. Actually, you might see, I have seen literally energy change just simply because of what it is that you're projecting. And this can work with partners, it can work with family, it can work with people close to us, it can work with strangers, but we see this all the time. And it's time for you now to get into this feeling of ecstasy, this rapture, this absolute bliss for yourself. So we're going to take a look now at what to drop the illusion of. So when we talk about dropping the illusion, these are things that we like to sometimes hang on to. Again, it's an illusion. Like, what is it that you're fooling yourself with? Or maybe it's, this could be a conscious thought, it could be a subconscious thought, but I do feel like this is what is the illusion around? It might even be, the illusion of other people that they're trying to project upon you. So we're going to take a look into that. What is the illusion? How to, drop the illusion. It's time to be brave. Yeah. It's not always easy. Again, you remember how I talked about, sometimes we hang on to things simply because it's a comfortable place to be. Sometimes we hang on to memories of the past. We tend to prevent ourselves or others from moving forward because it's a comfortable place to be. It's something that we're used to, and we're scared of the unknown. We're scared of that new beginning. We're scared of moving forward like that chariot, that came through, simply because of the fact that we are in a place of fear. So the illusion is to drop the fear. You are brave. Okay, is what it's saying. It is time to be brave. Drop the illusion of the fear. Calm and chaos. Yeah. I feel like for some of you, you actually don't mind the chaos that, the past will bring up, because again, it is a place of, it's comfortable. Or somebody else might like chaos because for them it's more comfortable. So they might bring that chaos to you and inject that within your life, is what I'm also getting. And the past returns for a time. So the illusion is stop repeating these cycles. And again, if it is somebody else, you either need to sit down and have a really good talk with them, or, you need to find a way in order to, say to them, look, enough is enough. I am not that person. Stop bringing up this crap. And if it's you that's bringing in your own crap, stop. I can't express that anymore. This is a circle. And the illusion is that you're scared to, confront a new beginning. You're scared to confront the future, so you keep hanging around and bringing in this old junky energy that is no longer needed. And so this becomes a cycle. Or maybe something doesn't go your way or the way of somebody else, and because it's not, exactly as you perceived, or it's not, 100% the way you wanted it, you tend to, go around in a circle. So whatever it is, removing that is going to bring in a beautiful new, but we truly have to release it. Okay. So we're going to get some clarifying projection. So yeah, again, in regards to relationships or jobs, whatever aspect this pertains to, you may have been rejected, which is preventing you from moving forward. But here's the bottom line. There's this great saying that I love, and it says, rejection is a form of protection. Think about that, okay? If we were rejected from somebody or something, maybe that was for our protection in some way. The universe works in mysterious ways, right? But if we're hanging on to that rejection, how do we move forward? If we're sitting there going, well, I didn't get that job when I was 16, woe is me. Well, you have to let that go in order to really find and seek the career, the job, or whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. Same with relationships. If you were rejected at some point in time, or maybe even several times, maybe it was because it wasn't the right person. But, swimming around in this sea of rejection isn't going to bring a new person in. It's not going to bring in your soulmate. It's not going to bring in that person that, you truly desire, right? And we got the beauty card going on here. So the beauty is that, drop the illusion that there's something wrong with you. Start looking at the beauty within you, internally, externally, and also the beauty within others is what I keep getting. It's not only your beauty, but it's the beauty within others. And I feel like for some of you, if you are trying to, in some way hold somebody back, you have to look at their beauty too. Okay, and recognize, their beautiful qualities besides what it was that may have possibly hurt you in the past, or maybe that you're scared to face from the past, or even in your current circumstances. Okay, but I'm really feeling that for most of you, I'm what I'm getting here is just because you were rejected by one person doesn't mean everybody's going to reject you. Recognize your own true beauty. Okay, and take a look at it and just kind of look at that person if there was some sort of rejection and go, hey, I'm actually kind of glad because now I can do better than you. Okay, I can do better than you because I do have this inner and outer beauty. Help from above. What did we talk about? Sometimes we just need to ask our guides and our spirits, to say, and we just need to say, look at, help me with this, help me with this. I need to release this. This is what I'm looking for. Please help me to release pain from the past, or release somebody else's pain towards me. Help me move forward. Help me find that beauty, not only within myself, but within others and things around me. It's time to, when we ask our guides, when we ask God, when we talk to the universe with our whole heart, and, in that genuine type of, being our genuine selves, they come in and they do send us signs, and they do give us a path to go to. But if we keep repeating these cycles and going around and around in circles, we're not allowing first of all, the help that they are trying to give us to come in, but we're also not seeing that clear path towards, the bliss that it is that we are looking for. So, I truly hope that this has helped, and thank you so much. And we're going to move on to number 3, or the key with the heart. So for those of you that chose the key, this is going to be your reading, and we're going to start in with what you already know. So now remember that this could be a subconscious, it could also be a conscious knowing, okay? So maybe these are things that you already know, but when I talk about the subconscious, it's things that we know, but we're not allowing up to the surface. So remember, if this one doesn't resonate with you, you can always choose the rock or the rose, but do take the messages as they come. It may not resonate with everyone simply because these are general readings, but again, I do feel that there are messages here for everyone in some manner, okay? So what it is that we know, it talks about nature communication, flower energies, fairy energies, elemental messengers. So some of you, I feel like some of you are very spiritual. I feel like these messages have been coming in in some manner to you, or you may be opening up to some sort of spirituality at this moment. I feel like you have been getting the messages, and you either know this, or maybe you're trying to push them down. Okay, like on a subconscious level, you recognize the fact that you're receiving these messages, but you're not allowing them to fully surface at this moment. And it talks about shine bright like a candle. You will make it through this. These energies, the thing is that sometimes when we get the messages, they are coming in for a reason. They don't always have to be, they might feel some sort of negativity towards them, but they don't always have to be. And I'm feeling like the more that you're pushing down, this is bringing a really heavy energy towards some people at this moment, especially with the chaos that's kind of going on, globally at this moment. And you might be receiving an awful lot of energies, and it is saying like you are going to make it through this. Allow the messages to come through. It doesn't mean that we have to fully absorb them. Sometimes what we need to do is take them, listen to them, and allow them to release. And in doing so, that's going to help us shine bright like that candle. You will make it through this. Know that you're fully supported at this time, is what I'm also getting. That's what I keep hearing. You're fully supported at this time. You're getting these messages for a reason, okay? And they are coming in from spirit. They're coming in from your guides for a reason. But it's time, if you keep shoving them down, you're not going to hear the whole message. And sometimes we only listen to a portion of the message because we don't want to hear the rest of it. We think the rest of it is going to be, has some sort of negative aspect to it. And that's not always the case. And I do feel that through this, I feel like some of you are being called to duty, is what I keep hearing. Allow yourself to shine bright like that candle. Allow yourself to hear the actual messages so that you know what it is that maybe, there's some sort of action that you're being called to. Maybe there is some sort of message that you need to give out to the world, and you will be shining like that candle. Okay, shine bright, like, especially if you're receiving the messages and you're not fully giving them at this time. I do feel like, it's time to shine bright. Allow yourself to be seen. Allow yourself and those messages to be heard, is what I'm getting. And it says, set your course. Know where you wish to go. Have a plan towards the right direction. So again, going back to the spirituality, I feel like some of you have been called, like I keep saying, called to action, or, it's time to like set your course. So maybe you're confused what to do with the messages. I feel like some of you need to really listen. But some of you may need to actually set out a plan. Okay, so if you have some sort of desire to move into some sort of spiritual work or some sort of work, it doesn't need to be spiritual. It might be, community, or, where you're helping people or whatever it is. I feel like for some of you, you're receiving these messages like it's time to move forward. It might even be a matter of just going back to school. Maybe you've had that desire, you're hearing the messages to go and do some more learning. But it is saying here, it's time to set that course toward what it is that, you're desiring. It's time for you to shine bright. Stop hiding. It's time for, you are going to make it through this. It might seem difficult. It might feel difficult. But know, again, that you're fully supported throughout this process, is what I'm getting. And they are asking you to set that course. It's funny, this King of Pentacles coming up. Yeah, I feel like you are supposed to be in this King of Pentacles energy. And this King of Pentacles, he really is, he's gone through a lot. Okay, he's not, the King of Pentacles is like the king of all the kings within the tarot deck. Okay, he's wise, he's mature, he's really gone through a lot in order to achieve his status. Okay, I don't feel like it's been easy for him. He's had to work for it, but he's listened to guidance that has been coming through, whether this is a spiritual guidance or whether this is an external guidance. Maybe these messages are coming in from other people, but at the same time, he has listened to them, and he's allowed himself to move forward, and it has allowed him to shine bright. Okay, you can even see by his throne, he's on this big shiny throne, and I feel like he knew where his course was. He put that intention within his mind of setting his course, and he achieved it. And that's what it's asking you to do at this particular moment. Okay. And the King of Swords is coming through. Sometimes we actually, our emotions can prevent us from, coming through. And it is saying here that's, what is that sometimes you need to remove the unnecessary emotions. Okay, this King of Swords, he can be very, he's very diplomatic. He's very straightforward. He doesn't sit there and worrying about, oh, my feelings are hurt, or somebody else's feelings are hurt, or, he doesn't wallow within the emotional spectrum. And he really sets his course and he moves forward. And that's exactly what I'm feeling. It almost feels like, you go into this energy of this King of Swords where you're just moving towards your course. You see yourself shining like this candle with whatever, in whatever aspect it is that you're trying to achieve. And then, you're doing the work necessary and you're achieving this King of Pentacles energy is what I'm getting. That Nine of Swords coming in. So again, when we talk about emotions, this Nine of Swords, this can really play on our minds. And I feel like the message that's coming through of what it is that is that this is all in your head. Okay, there might be feelings of like feeling paranoid. You might be feeling, stressed or anxious in regards to, the messages that you're receiving, this communication that you're receiving, these messages, especially if you're in a spiritual sense. These messages can be very stressful, or it might feel anxious for you, or you're not sure what you're supposed to do with them. But at the same time, it is talking about you like you already know that you're in this, but it's saying to move out of that, allow yourself to shine. Okay, it's time to not focus in on these swords that are coming through. Don't focus in on the stress and the anxiety. Whether this is through meditation, maybe there's some sort of, grounding method or releasing method that will be good for you. But at the same time, don't let the messages overwhelm you in a negative sense. Just allow them to flow as they're supposed to flow. Okay. I feel like for some of you, you might be also getting some pressure from people in regards to some sort of messages that are coming through, and you are trying to, shine like a candle, and set your own course, but there may be something or somebody who is putting, their own, that communication coming through is giving you some sort of stress. Maybe they're holding you back in some sort of way. And it is also talking about here with that King of Swords, you may have to, set an unemotional stance towards them and say, look, this is my life. I'm going to move forward. And I do want to achieve, this is my dream, is to achieve that King of Pentacles stance. Okay. And, you're holding me back, and you may have that may pertain to some of you. So that might resonate as well. But I am feeling here very much this spiritual type of communication. And right now, with all of the energies that are going on, it is really hard to focus in on the positive messages that are coming in, because we might be overwhelmed by negative messages that are coming through, again, with media, politicians, just people and friends around us. Even just spending time on any sort of social media right now is extremely stressful. So you might not be hearing the messages that it is that you're supposed to receive at this moment. So it is telling you, take a step back, really focus on yourself and shining bright. Okay, set your course. Really set your course to what it is that you're trying to achieve, and you will be hearing the messages that will guide you to that King of Pentacles energy. So what we're looking into now is what is being hidden. Now, when we talk about hidden, it doesn't need to be exactly absolutely hidden. These are more than likely things that you probably do know about on some level, some sort of level of subconscious. Now, they can actually be hidden from you, and they may come out at some point, but usually when we talk about what is being hidden, for me, we know about it. We just aren't allowing ourselves to sometimes recognize it or receive it. Okay. So it does talk about here studying, learning, education. Again, there might be some of you that want, they want more knowledge. Now, whether, again, this is actual school, but I feel like for some of you on that, especially on that spiritual path, is what I keep picking up. There is maybe some more studying to do. Okay. Maybe those messages that are coming through, you need to, allow yourself, is what I keep getting. You might need to even study on them, learn about them, learn the messages, release the messages that or release that fear and that anxiety with that Nine of Swords energy that are around the messages. Okay. Yeah, I really keep getting that. Uh, Burnt by the run, ambition, extension, and reach. So because we had that Nine of Swords energy, I'm feeling that for some of you, you might be super tired. You might be feeling that exhaustion. Again, you have the ambition, but you might be extending yourself too much, and you might recognize this too. And I feel like for some of you, it's time to, just take some time to yourself, take some time to relax, put yourself in a different state of mind in order to hear the messages that are coming through in the right way. Okay. When our mind is all full of junk, or fear or chaos, especially when it's from external circumstances, we don't allow ourselves to hear the right messages that are coming through. We can misinterpret them very easily. And I feel that you may have been kind of running through your brain of what does this mean, or how to, what am I supposed to do? I feel like a really busy energy, but it's going on within your mind. Like a lot of you might be overthinking, and you might even be really overdoing. I feel like for some of you, you might have been extending yourself, trying to reach some sort of certain ambition, or maybe extending yourself within that spiritual path towards others. And, if you're a healer of some sort, I feel like you do need to, like, you might have been overreaching, or you might have been, again, overextending yourself in some way towards something or somebody that it's becoming very difficult in you or on you. Okay. And it talks about here internal struggle. Yeah, personal challenges, wanting to improve. I feel like for some of you, the first thing that's actually coming through is like especially, wanting to advance yourself in some sort of healing method, like some sort of spirituality. It doesn't need to be actual spirituality. It can be like, again, on some sort of healing level. You might be, I have like a feeling of like, I'm not good enough. I don't know, why are these messages coming to me? I don't know if I deserve it. Maybe, I'm misinterpreting is what I'm getting. This is going to, relate to you on some aspect. I feel like, again, take it as it resonates with you. But I am getting here, like some of you, this has been a struggle, especially the last few months. Maybe it's a time for you to take a step back from social media and allow yourself to, or turn off the news and allow yourself to really focus in on your own ambitions, not other people's chaos, not other people's ambition. Allow the true messages that you're supposed to be hearing to come through, because I feel very strongly that you're being guided and you're being supported at this time. So now we're looking into, the Ten of Pentacles. Like that, again, talking about that ambition. You might have a goal in mind. This is allowing yourself contentment for the future. Like, like you're setting yourself up in some sort of, like, you might be looking at a new career, especially, again, coming back down to the spirituality or healing. And again, take that as it resonates. But I feel like for some of you, you're really pushing towards, this goal. And that's a beautiful thing. Just make sure that you're not overextending yourself. Maybe you're trying to hear the messages and they're not coming through, but that can happen when we're putting too much energy towards listening to the messages that we don't need. Again, I keep picking up like some sort of social media. I keep getting the news. Like, I feel external sources. Instead of listening to yourself, you might be listening more to all the other stuff that's going on, and that's bringing you into this place of that internal struggle, challenges, and you're feeling like, maybe I'm not doing good enough. But what I am getting here is with that Ten of Pentacles, when we've got that King of Pentacles already coming through, I feel like, your ambition is within reach. Okay, maybe just allow yourself to look at your achievements as accomplishments already. Okay, instead of sitting there and beating yourself up about things that you haven't achieved, start looking at the things that you have achieved and stop putting so much pressure on yourself, again, to hear the messages, or to, you know, it might even be studying. Maybe, you know, you're spending day and night studying or trying to learn something else. Maybe you have several jobs, whatever it is. But I feel like you're trying to reach this goal, and they're saying this goal is very achievable for you. Okay. Yeah, that Ten of Swords energy is coming through. So I feel like for some of you, you know, that burnt by the sun, like you're feeling just, look at him, like he just feels done, you know. But here's the thing, is that once we start allowing and focusing in on ourselves, and once we start releasing the energy that is bringing us to this negative type of place, the one thing I like about the Ten of Swords is, yes, that current energy, it needs to end. Okay, but ending it brings about this bright future. Now, if this is in a relationship or something like that, and you are feeling like this internal struggle, maybe you're trying to achieve something and you feel like somebody's holding it back, or maybe you're feeling like you don't know if you're going to achieve it. Again, I do feel, and for some of you, this very well may be going to, you know, maybe you're trying to figure out a situation in regards to a relationship, and you're seeking external advice. So you're getting all kinds of different messages that are coming in, and you're not exactly sure which one you should take, because sometimes if we go to, you know, several advisors, whether they're psychics or mediums or intuitives or whatever, you know, we're going to hear different messages. Not everybody picks up on things the same way, and that could be confusing us. It could also burning us out. For some of you, this very well may have to do, maybe there's a choice between two people, that King of Swords and that King of Pentacles, and you're trying to decide which one to do, which message you are to receive. I'm getting that as well. It doesn't need to be, you know, the kings can be, you know, feminine energy too. But what I am getting is, again, that answer is within yourself. Okay, and you need to stop extending yourself out externally and start listening to yourself on that internal level, because you are going to achieve this goal, is what I keep getting. You are going to achieve this goal, but putting all of this energy that isn't needed for you at this time, you know, can very much hold you back. Oh, I was going to pull one of these. Sorry. I got confused in what I was doing there. So I'm going to pull one more clarifying card in regards to what it is that is hidden at this moment. And the Knight of Wands. Okay, again, if this is relationship related, this Knight of Wands saying talks about a new passion. Okay, again, I feel like letting go, when we let go of sometimes hanging on to the energy or seeking external advice or not listening to the messages of our own mind, body, and soul, you know, that's what we need to let go of, because I do feel that doing so is going to allow this new passion to come through. And again, you know, take it as it relates to you. But I'm feeling, if you're sitting there worried and struggling in regards to seeking that or achieving that, you know, King of Pentacles energy, it is time, or even this Ten of Pentacles energy, you know, where you're feeling that contentment, you're feeling that happiness, you're feeling that security is really what's coming through. That security, we need to let go of what it is that is burning us out. Okay, the energy that we you know, is just bringing us down, and it's bringing us to this place that is causing these internal struggles and challenges and stuff like that. That's what I keep getting. So we're going to look at what it is that we need to focus in on at this time. What do we need to focus on? What will help us achieve these dreams? Or what is it that, what messages are coming through from Spirit in regards to helping us achieve what it is that we're trying to achieve, or what it is that we need to, will help bring it around that peace and that happiness to us, okay? That sense of security, again, is what I keep getting. I feel like this one. So these are things to focus in on. Faith. There you go. Trust, unwavering confidence. Have the faith. Again, you know, I kept feeling like those messages were coming through, and I feel like for some of you, this is exactly what your guides are trying to tell you. Have the faith. You know, you're hearing the messages. You know what's inside of you. You know that you can have faith towards the situation. All right. And I feel like for some of you, those messages that are coming through are from spirit telling you to have faith, have confidence in yourself, let go of the old, negative thoughts, or stop burning yourself out, by listening to things that aren't necessary for you, the negative messages that are coming through. Nightmare, psychic protection, shield, and bad dreams. Yeah, like again, talking about those messages, when it talks about what to focus on, I feel like you need to focus in on, again, those positive messages. Okay, ask for shielding, because we can ask for shielding in regards to receiving messages that are of a more negative nature, especially if they're bringing us to a place that it is bringing us maybe bad dreams. Maybe some of you are receiving your messages through the bad dreams. Okay, is what I'm also getting. But we can ask to be shielded. And really all we have to do is we just have to really ask Archangel Michael, who is amazing at shielding us from negative protection, or from negative energy. He puts a shield around us. And really all you have to do is say, please, Archangel Michael, help me out at this moment. Allow my dreams to, be positive, or just ask for him to cut what it is. Sorry, I'm losing my voice. What it is that is no longer needed. Okay. But I feel again is that you do have, what to focus in on here is having faith. Focus in on the fact that you are protected psychically. You do have a shield around you. You are safe. So if you're allowing those messages to come through, especially of a spiritual nature, you're allowing those messages to come through, you are safe. You are protected. Okay? Have trust that what it is that you're seeking is going to come to you. You have to have that faith behind there, and that's what you need to focus in on. It talks about thirst, compulsion, and obsession. So I do feel like for some of you, you might be either obsessing about a person, place, or thing, and that's where that Ten of Swords energy, again, is what we need to allow. Okay, that Ten of Swords energy is where we're something is ending. We need to end. We need to focus in on ending that craving, compulsion, obsession. And again, this could be towards a person, place, or thing, whatever it is. But if we obsess about it, if we're so focused in on achieving it, we're not going to achieve, and we're not going to hear the messages that it is that are needed for us at this moment. Okay. So it's really asking you to let go of the obsession. Go do something else. Okay. I am getting, and have the faith. Because again, if we're obsessing about something, we're not allowing faith to come in. We're not having trust that the universe is working, towards our favor. We are going to feel like, we do have all kinds of, it is going to feel that overwhelming energy, that's coming in, right? And we're not going to be, it is going to be an internal struggle instead of allowing just this beautiful struggle of that Ten of Pentacles and that Knight of Wands energy to come through. Okay, we have to allow the faith. We have to release that obsession and know that we're protected, and our guides and our angels, our higher self, are leading us towards the right path. Okay. And what does it talk about here? The Queen of Swords. Yeah, like sometimes the Queen of Swords is very she's very direct. She can be very unforgiving in some ways. So again, what we're obsessing about, we have to remember, if we're obsessing in a negative way, we're going to draw in that negative energy. Okay, we're going to draw in more of those obsessive thoughts. We're going to draw in more, of what it is that we don't want. We want to, the Queen of Swords she always reminds me of, like, from Alice in Wonderland, the off with their heads, that kind of thing. And that's kind of the energy that she's in. She's saying, stop this. Okay. When you're focus on what it is that is going to be beneficial for you. The Queen of Swords doesn't spend her time worrying about the little things. She doesn't worry about these, I want to say like minions, it's kind of the people around that are, the gossipy or the messages that are not necessary for her. She's in an energy that's strong and it has the strength within herself. And that's what it's asking you to do. When you have that strength within yourself, you're going to have that faith that your dreams or what you're wishing for are coming forth to you. The Ace of Swords. And again, I love this because the Ace of Swords, when I see the Ace of Swords, for me, it talks about it talks about like an inner knowing. You already know all of this. So what it's telling you to focus on is remember who you are. Okay, when I look at the Ace of Swords, it may not resonate with everybody, who does tarot, and that's okay. But when I look at the Ace of Swords, I always see the crown chakra. It's like you're getting those downloads, you're getting those insights that are coming in for you. And these are some sort of messages to you. But it's also a card of like strength and confidence and perseverance and moving forward. And it's a very powerful and strong element. So again, release those obsessions that you have that aren't necessary for you. You're getting all of the confirmation that you need in regards to the messages that you're receiving. Okay, if you're getting positive messages of faith and trust and allowing to come through, have faith in that. Things are happening. Okay, as they are supposed to happen. That's Six of Wands energy. I love this. This is that strength, that's confidence. It's that it's like I fought many battles and now I'm successful. I am strong. I've won the battle. I've got, I succeeded. This is victory. And that's exactly what it's asking you to focus in on. Focus in on the victory of going through all of the challenges that you just went through or that you're going through at this moment. Allow the insights to come in, okay? The positive insights to come in. Have that faith, have that trust. Know that you are protected in order to achieve your personal victory, your own success, okay? This is really what I'm getting. I can't even emphasize this enough. It just feels like for somebody or something or someone, they're really going through these obsessions like in their mind, okay? And it might be bringing them to a really negative place. But I'm really hearing you have to have that faith and you have to have that trust within you. So now we're going to look into what illusions can we drop? What illusions can we get rid of? When we talk about illusions, these can be, within our mind that we make up. It's like an illusion. What illusions can we just get rid of? Sometimes these are, a form of protection. Sometimes they are a form of not seeing something clearly. Okay, is what I'm wanting to say. So what illusions is it that we can drop at this current moment? I feel like this one. Home. Okay. So illusions. I feel like for some of you, you feel very comfortable sometimes in that energy of that obsessive type of energy. I feel like for some of you, home, you might know when you see the word home, you might know how it's resonating with you. But I'm feeling like for some of you too, you have this feeling like you want to go home or you want to have that comfort of home. But sometimes those obsessive thoughts might be overwhelming it. Okay. And again, this could be a person, place, or thing. It could be it's something that brings you that sense of comfort. Okay. Entrapment. Yeah. So the illusion is, here's the illusion, is that you are in this state of entrapment that is preventing you from having the safety and the security of home. Okay. And it's funny because he's actually wearing like that quarantine mask. So for some of you that might, really resonate, probably with an awful lot of you, but it's also talking about courage. So the illusion is that for some of you, you might not feel that you have the courage to release yourself from some sort of entrapment in order to have that safety and security. And that safety and security can pertain again to, job, career, relationship, whatever it is, whatever makes you feel like you're at home, whatever brings you that happiness. Okay. That is the illusion. And as we just talked about, we know that's absolutely not true. We know that all we're basically doing is, craving or compulsion or obsessing about the things that we no longer need. And sometimes that can put us into a place of contentment because of the fact that we're too scared to move and think about opening ourselves up to the future. But I do feel that for some of you, when we talk about that, that courage, entrapment, and home, it's really telling you it's have the strength. Again, if you feel like, I keep going back to that spiritual awakening, or people that are looking, maybe there's some sort of spiritual healers, or you're looking into some sort of spiritual business, however it pertains. I feel like for some of you, you are scared of moving forward, or maybe some of you are just receiving a lot of downloads that you feel are of a spiritual basis, and you're scared to accept them simply because of the fact that you're not sure what kind of messages they are, if they're going to be negative or if they're going to be positive, or you're just scared to take that step forward. And it is telling you, again, you're protected. We have that psychic protection going on, but take that courage and have that, that faith. I'm just going to fix that camera there. Take that courage, release that entrapment, and it's time to move forward. It's time to go home. So we're going to take a look into some clarifying messages here for you. Holding on way too tight. Yeah, for some of you, you're holding on, to the fear is what I'm getting. The fear. You're holding on to some sort of fear. And again, that Ten of Swords energy came through where it's time to release that. Time to let it go. The natural world needs you. It's really funny, right? Because at the beginning of this, we did receive, that sort of message in regards to, I'm just going to find it here. Just give me 1 second. Yeah, natural communicate. It's like the natural world needs you. And here we're getting that natural, communication. I feel like for some of you, this might really relate, take it as you will, but I feel like there's definitely messages that are coming through for you from, this could be from nature. Now, again, this could be, some sort of spirit. It could be animal. It could be, maybe you're just feeling very like maybe you go for a walk or something and you can feel like the energy or the spirits coming through and having, like trying to talk to you or giving you some sort of messages. But, yeah, I find that really interesting that would come through again, because I feel like this is really relevant, to some of you. And I feel like, again, you're holding on too tight to, you might even be holding on too tight to a perception of what you think that the messages are coming through as, and maybe it's time for you to let go of that and just allow them to come through in their authentic selves, or their whole selves, or, however, like their genuine selves is what I want to say. And yeah, made magical space clearing time. I love this because I really do feel like it's time for you to take some time for yourself. Allow, again, I keep allowing. I feel like, this magical space clearing time, it really, for me, when I see this, again, it does talk about, allow that. And it's funny because we're getting a lot of, again, spirit, magical, that sort of thing coming through. And I feel like you might need to sweep up the cobwebs that are in your head in order for the actual messages to come through. But also it might be time to take a step back and stop, placing too much thoughts or worries about everything that is going on, and take that time for yourself. Again, maybe you just need to disconnect from social media or whatever it is, but I do feel it's time now to clear the way. Okay, this is what I keep getting. Clear the way. Don't hang on too tightly to the old junk. Clear the way for these new messages and these new sense of excitement to come through. Have that courage to remove yourself from that entrapment, in order to head home, because I do feel that Knight of Pentacles energy coming through and that Ten of Pentacles energy very strongly, where you're about to achieve or receive some sort of message or goal, or you're about to achieve that goal, is what I'm trying to say. Like, I feel like you're almost at the cusp of it. You're about to receive it, but you have to clear out some of the old junk in order for it to come in fully as it's supposed to come in. So I truly hope that this has helped. Have a wonderful day. Again, take some time to yourself tonight. Enjoy your evening, and thank you so much for watching.